If you're a man, you don't cry about it. You take life, the ups and downs. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. That's why this sport coat costs $800 and that costs $200. And I don't know what that costs, I'd be ashamed to wear it. That's why I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch.
Importing it, snorting it, any competition extorting it, anything I want affording it, got enough crack to get four to hit, turn a saint to a sinner, lose to a winner, whether old school or upbeat, getting my shit's the best, Rick's the best, have your heart beating right out your chest, that Ric Flair like, woo! That Ric Flair like, woo! This is all I do, I got that Ric Flair like, woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, that Ricky make a girl go, woo! Big cause.
Welcome to the Goblin and Ogre podcast. Fabian with a giant old glass of whiskey, even though before this podcast started, he said,
"Thank you.
I should probably calm down on the whiskey."
Yeah. But then got that giant ice cube and just
I think the
pour.
ice cube distorts it. I think it makes it look like it's a lot more whiskey than it is.
It makes it fancier too. Like it looks like a gentleman's drink.
I invented a new drink though. I call it a triple. It's actually 3 doubles.
He gives me some big one. How big are the shot glasses you give me?
Those are doubles.
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 Well, he fills it to the brim. And you ever like take a shot, but it's like double gulp?
Yeah.
Like you'll gulp once,
And then you
you still have more? And
Yeah.
It's just even more harsher? Yeah.
Yeah,
But Fabian's a man. Like, he takes a shot of whiskey and chases it with whiskey.
it's not a man, that's an alcoholic.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. Alcoholics are men.
Our men, yes. Yeah. All the good ones.
Yeah.
No. I mean, look, we all love a good whiskey, but so a double. You know what's funny about a double shot is that most people, if you go out like having fun with like regular non-alcoholic friends, I can't say go out because the bar chooses, but if you drink like at a house party, if people are doing shots, generally they do about 75% or 3/4 of a shot glass.
But
like they never say fill it up. Though people will be like, that's too much. Like it's a slice of cake. Like they're like, oh no, give me a thinner piece. That's how most people do shots. So the fact that he's giving you to the brim a double shot,
Very generous. Yeah.
Which is funny because you don't even drink liquor.
No, I don't. But thanks to Fabian, now I kind of drink whiskey. And you know what it is too? It's just like, because he's so generous with his whiskey, I give him free range to have as many of my Diet Cokes as he'd like. I'll look at the fridge. I'll try to grab a Diet Coke and it's missing. I'm like,
That's all right.
no, not even. I'm like, he actually gives me quite a lot of whiskey, so I have nothing to complain about. I like that little arrangement.
No, you have to look. Here's the thing: if you're living with a roommate, there can be a trade-off. It's okay. You don't have to. I hate the idea. Look, I don't live with my girl, right? But if I live with a roommate, I don't want it to be, don't ever fucking touch my shit, and I won't touch your shit. And nobody wants to live in that hostile environment,
Right.
Be like, look, I made pasta tonight. Can you please pick up some pizza tonight, and you can eat my shit?
Well, Fabian did, when I first moved in, give me that. He said, like, I'll eat what you want, just don't eat the last portion of it. So, like, if I make spaghetti, and there's enough spaghetti, have spaghetti, but if there's just one bowl of spaghetti left, that's mine.
I broke that rule though. Like
You finished his spaghetti.
Yeah, I've been the worst roommate for Lee. If he can't leave something sweet here for too long, like Lee's not big on sweets, so it'll last for like a month, and I'm just like,
Yeah, no, I get like a little craving for sweets. But I'll eat a bit, and then they'll just sit there.
Yeah, your thing is like it's in a cupboard. When I need it, it's there.
But I never go back to it. So actually, Fabian eating it, I prefer that. Because if not, it's just gonna go to fucking waste.
Oh, okay, that's different.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm thankful for that.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I heard a knock at the door, and I'm like, it's the pimp. I was like, oh no.
All right, guys. Since I'm currently a pariah in the comedy world, what's been going on?
I don't know. I've been a little bit. I've been.
Oh, you've been a recluse
from the comedy world.
Yeah,
for a while, because it's all these Gen Z young people that are just
not that
booking
bad.
one another and shit like that. But there was. Did you hear about the Josh Infall, Kyle Lucy?
Oh, the beef.
Yeah.
Don't act like did you hear about it? You were trying to
he
book.
He said I'm out of it. So I'm just letting him know.
Okay, I know,
but
but you have to be honest. Lee was trying to book the pre-fight interview with Josh.
I was.
Involved.
I wanted
then
Josh
unfortunately-
on, and then they made up.
And they made up. It squashed before because we canceled that one day, and then that would have been the day.
That would have been the day.
That would have been the day, because it
I
was
talking
still
to Josh,
on.
He was still pissed.
Yeah.
He was just like all like, oh, what a fucking asshole. Like, what a faggot. Like, why would he do? Because basically, this is what the problem is. Kyle called the police on Josh.
What?
Whoa,
Okay.
what happened?
He called the cops on
What?
him.
Tell
dude.
him from the start. Tell him
All
from
right,
the.
so
yeah.
Josh puts out a video just basically like calling out Kyle for being like, you know, a piece of shit or whatever.
Oh, I remember
And-
something.
and
No,
they
no,
said-
that
but
wasn't
then-
just
but-
it.
But then he was just like making these hilarious almost threats.
No.
towards
But I
him.
thought the start was he said Kyle had stolen a joke from another comedian who's a
Yeah,
friend
there was
of
that.
Josh's.
There was that, but
I thought that maybe I'm wrong. I thought that's what set it off.
So apparently, yeah, there was a joke that was very similar to another guy named Max. I think.
Yeah.
Max Ross.
Yeah, it's Max.
And so you know, if you get called out for thievery of a joke in stand up, it's not a good thing, because you know, like a lot of people, let's say if you hate Kyle, you're gonna jump on the whole he stole it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And if you love Kyle, then you're gonna be like, no, that guy's just like starting
Bitching
shit
about nothing.
about
Yeah, yeah.
nothing. So basically, it started from there. But the video that got Josh like with the police called on him was something about Josh making these threats. Like he told at one point, he goes about Kyle, he's like, I want you to die, which I thought was really funny, and it was clearly a funny video. But I don't know how it evolved into like a problem for Kyle, where he felt the need to contact the police.
My
And that's
Rumor
that
wheel.
is the shit. Like, joke thieving aside,
Yeah.
whether it happened or didn't, that aside, because I think people in like positions of like they're getting elevated. Like Kyle's more of an established Toronto comic, all that.
yeah.
I think the higher you get up there, maybe the temptation to steal somebody's joke is greater. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not accusing him of anything like that.
The
But
problem
what I am
is-
accusing him of is calling the cops on a fucking on another comedian for no reason.
So the only defense I'll give is from what I heard. Now, I'll be very honest about this. I didn't follow. Let me double check, make sure this is recording, but I think it is. Yeah. I'm also secondhand information, because I don't check the comedy discussion boards or anything like that anymore. But my girl does, because my girl, boy, does she love reading drama.
Sure.
And
she's a black woman. That's part of her diet. Like,
No,
yeah.
it's women.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
be honest. It's all women love
drama.
Drama,
Yeah.
especially if they're not involved. If that's not on them, which, look, I can't even put her on it. I love it too. Like,
Yeah,
I pretend like I'm a man, but she watches these like reality shows, and I'll be there. I'm like, I really hope they hit each other. This is great.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But from what I heard, there was maybe it was from years ago, but there was some previous incident where Josh did actually sort of physically confront Kyle.
Yeah.
So Kyle kind of felt like,
Well,
you know,
it was like, because he was accusing Kyle, calling him out for being like a Weasley social climbing douche, and he was supposed to be booked on a show at Imperial apparently, and Kyle kept bumping him, even though Josh had a booked spot.
Yeah.
There was all these more like not headliners or some headliners, whatever it was, coming in. And Kyle just kept bumping Josh,
Over and over,
which
yeah.
is, you know, a shitty thing to do.
Oh, Kyle was the host.
The host of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And he would be like, Josh would say something like, hey, you know, I'm booked. And he's like, well, and Kyle would be like, oh, I got to put this guy on. He's a killer. As if to say Josh isn't a killer. And Josh is, of all the people that were named, like, oh, he bumped me for this guy. I'm like, sorry, but I think Josh is funnier than all those guys. And really, it's just like, what to me, I don't like, but I'll put somebody on a show who shows up that I like, but I'm not going to bump people. Like, to me, I'm just like, if you got a booked spot, you're
booked,
yeah, you're booked.
Look, I think that's what.
So that's where the problem started. And at some point throughout the evening, I guess, I don't know if it was that night or another night, but at some point, Josh felt the need to shove Kyle.
Yeah.
And shoving is like whatever. Like that's not even real. To me, that's not real assault. Like, if he punched him in the fucking face, that's like something. But
You know
if
how
you
it's
get
not?
pushed, come on.
It's because in hockey,
Yeah.
The shove is what is not a part of the fight. It's a tell the other guy, I'm ready to fight.
I'm ready to fight, yeah.
A
That's a
shove
warning.
is let's
Yeah.
fight. It's not we just started fighting.
Fabian's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabian. If you get shoved, or you shove somebody, that's a warning. We're gonna fight.
Let me ask you.
That's like
it has to be a warning because like
Yeah.
I don't ever shove. You can't shove.
Okay, let me ask you something. If we're drunk and we're out, right? And we're annoyed with each other and I shove you and then you punch me, right? And then tomorrow we're making up as friends and then we're like, "Oh, that was fucked. Who threw the first punch?" Would you say you or would you say me? If I shoved you but you punched me.
well, he threw the first punch.
That's what I think.
But he was also responding.
No, you
He was
can respond with a shove.
responding.
You can
Yeah.
respond with a shove.
He was responding, but a shove to me is like
Opening yourself up to get punched. Like if I shoved you, I want to fight you. So if you punch me after I shove you, you just answered my invitation.
Yeah. But I also think as friends, when you're mad at each other, a shove is an acceptable check.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Or
yo,
a headlock.
Yeah. A noogie.
Yeah.
A noogie is an
I've been put in
acceptable.
a few headlocks. And it's so demeaning. You're like, okay, let me go. but also, the headlock is not a very good thing to do something because they could just pick you up and suplex you.
Backdrop you. Yeah.
Back body drop. Yeah.
Okay, Chica, get out of here. Get out of here.
Chicken.
Buddy.
Come here.
Chicken, get out of here.
Come here, Chica. I'm gonna put you away.
But then so then you had it booked and planned for us to have Infald on to stoke the flames. And in my head, I'm not gonna lie, I had a tinge of guilt over it. Like when I knew that's what was being set up, I'm like, are we gonna be those people?
Yeah,
are we
are.
gonna be the Shannon Sharp to the Cat Williams, where we're like, please come on our podcast and say wild shit so we get views and you get hate.
Well, honestly, I don't think our views would have climbed. I think if
in
anybody,
a medium way, not even I can't even say medium.
we would have gotten like
in the
15
smallest of
extra
ways.
hits, and that's just comedians.
Our views always climb when there's a fight.
Yes.
And I noticed it. We didn't even tell anyone. But even that episode where Jared and who got mad at Fabian
Yeah,
got
Fabian
mad at
and
Jared.
Jared.
There was a few more views, and I'm like,
They
it's
love
the
it.
fight. It's the
Yeah.
fight. One comedian listened, told somebody else that Jared and Fabian got into a little argument.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like good timing too because Josh
You wanted him on.
we were already playing
Yeah,
to
yeah,
have
yeah.
him on, and then this happens, and I'm just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We got at least half an episode.
Lee with his Satan mustache is going. Oh,
Satan. You ever my shit right now is so long? I just feel like I have to keep it growing. But realistically, I'm probably gonna grow it out. I'm gonna shave it this.
you look
week.
like a recluse. Like when I saw you, I go, oh, what happened? This fucking hermit is
I'm
is
just
not
hiding.
okay.
I'm just in my room. I open my curtain. I look at the world. I crawl underneath my bed. Yeah, exactly. I smoke a bit of weed, drink beers, and watch The Simpsons. That's my life right now.
No comedy for Oscar today. Okay.
No, it's like
No, you were saying we can move to that, which is you were saying like the whole you go to open mic nights and stuff, the whole Gen Z thing. You're not liking the vibe. Is that what it is?
Right, exactly. I mean, I think.
There's some decent vibe shows though. You
Well-
could just do those.
Well, the point is, I think, is to create your own vibe. It's to start I don't like producing shows.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
produce them, and they're good as far as you get to be around people that you want to be around, and and do the comedy you want to do. But nowadays, the vibe is these younger people, and also people who are been around, the backroom. Backroom's cool and all, but they do give a platform for a lot of these Gen Z Indian women comics or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because they're pretty successful at what they're doing. So I don't get mad at it. I may not want to operate the way they do, but I still respect what they're doing. But I go when I go around there, sometimes there's certain people around where I'm just this isn't fun. I'm just kind of waiting to go on stage. Everyone's just kind of too supportive of one another.
It's missing the royal. It's missing
that-
antithesis
okay.
to these
Yeah.
things. It's missing.
I will
That's
agree
what
with
it
that
is.
because I get along in most of these rooms fine. I don't really have an issue. My only issue is there's more and more people I don't know. So it's not that I don't like them, but I'm just like, it's not fun to hang out with you because I don't know who the fuck you are and I don't feel like saying hi. But I don't have an issue with those rooms. But I do agree. There's always needed both sides of the equation and the Royal open mic. And it's not just the Royal. There's others that existed before it. That side of things needs to exist. Somebody needs to.
Well, okay, because it lowers the bar for like people who are shitty but aren't like as shitty as people can be.
Yeah.
Like when I go there and I'm around all these fucking angels, apparently I keep raping.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, did you see Fabian talk to that lady? He wasn't even as drunk as her. Like, that guy must be raping.
Fabian said something so funny.
Fundamentally, I'll fuck almost anything.
Yeah, Fabian said something so funny. He goes like, I was accused of like trying to like hit on or like I was like being sexually aggressive towards women that were drunker than I am, and he goes, nobody's drunker than I am.
Well, for sure, those women go home with memories. I bet. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
the memory of Fabian raping them.
I just forget every time I black out after the rape. Oh, right before the rape, I black out.
I can't wait till this is used in court somewhere.
Right.
Fabian, what about when you said this on the Goblin and Ogre podcast?
Goblin
Lee's
plus
in the back.
Ogre.
Yeah!
We got
Released every Monday! On all podcasting platforms.
I said it, and I meant it.
Yeah, no, it's because currently right now I don't know if we mentioned it, but Fabian, did we mention on this podcast?
Well, we
that
talked
you're-
about. I might not know
don't
this.
care
I know
that. I'm
about
just saying
one
we
banning.
need like an. I'm just saying like there are people who have like completely different vibes. Like I show up and like I don't know if you can tell from the like look at me. I don't know if you can tell from like the look at me, but I'm not gangster, but definitely like riskier than most people.
Yeah.
Like I get knives pulled on me and stabbed, and it's like casual. It's like an event.
You
It's
can't tell from the look of you. Because I knew you at the Royal for a while. You came off like a pretty nice guy.
You know why the thing about Fabian is that's so deceiving is he has like a heartwarming smile.
Yeah.
Like because his eyes get all chinky.
He's kind of
and he's like
good-looking.
sweet. And he smile. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
And then you say one thing to him that he doesn't like, and he's still smiling. But what he says is like, "Oh, what? You have a fucking problem with that?"
Yes.
So
That's what he did
it's
to
scarier.
Jared.
Yeah, it's scarier. Like you go like because a guy who's like constantly like imposing and mean looking, you know, that's one thing. But when a guy like kicks your ass while smiling,
Yeah.
that's scarier. That's like horror movie shit almost.
And I realized I don't think I have this vibe, but I was at a mic. I was at the lab, whatever, on Friday, and I did my set, but there was a guy who. Oh yeah, you're Ben from the. There was a guy who said something during my set, and it didn't piss me off. I just couldn't hear him, but people did laugh at it, right? So I want to know. I didn't care if he called me like, you're fat. I don't care. It was funny. I wanted to know what happened. I missed out on it.
So there's like a murmur in the back, and people laugh. And you're
It
like,
wasn't
oh,
even
wait,
at
what
the
was
back.
that?
It was at my left, but
Okay.
I had like an ear infection this weekend, so I just couldn't hear that well from my left side, right?
How do you get? Anyways, go on with your story. But
I don't know.
from
Don't,
swimming.
my-
What did you
I
do?
know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, to be fair, it's not diagnosed. I just
Sanker washed up on the beach.
What?
Like-
That's good. That is good. That is good. So anyway, so I didn't hear him. So I asked him. I saw him off stage. He went to the bathroom or something. I asked him. I'm like, hey man, what was that thing you said to me? Right? And in my head, that's how I said it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I said it in a Fabian type way.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he looks at me like, what?
I didn't know. I didn't mean it. Yeah.
And I was like, no, you said something and I missed it, right? And then he goes, oh, I don't remember. If I remember, I'll tell you, man. And he goes in. But I just remember the fear in his eyes. And I'm not saying that as me being a scary guy. I just think some guys
He
are
probably thought
pussies
there's going to
and-
be some confrontation.
Yeah, he thought like, yeah.
You know what I heard is like if ever you're in a situation with somebody to come across as more intimidating is try to look at your own reflection in somebody's eyes. Like if you could do that, it's uncomfortable for them.
I feel like what would happen to
I'm
me.
gonna do that from now on.
Just Planet of the Apes shit. Just the one guy has to. All right.
Look into the dark circles of his eyes. You'll see the bitch in him.
Exactly. People can't stand
Lee's
intense
eyes. It's
eye
like a
contact.
doll's eyes. It's not even alive.
Like a doll's eyes.
Like a doll's eye.
Dead eyes.
Yeah, the banning thing, I do feel bad. Are you banned at more places or it's just the lab?
But I don't know if I actually don't think the one from Comedy Bar is like still standing because that was a while. But yeah, the lab I'm no longer allowed there because I was too cool.
But I think,
I feel like that's what happened.
But him and Griffin, Nathan Griffin,
Yeah.
recently shook hands or whatever, right? You
Yeah,
guys
we
made up.
hugged it out, but I was also blackout drunk for that. I don't remember what we.
You don't
talked
remember?
about, yeah.
That's
I think that's a step. I think that's a step towards
That's a
getting
step
back to
either
the
way.
lab. Yeah.
Because at least you remember, hey, we hugged it out. I must have liked something he said in the whatever in that conversation. So at least next time you can say, look, I don't remember why we hugged it out, but now we can talk or whatever. That's the only thing I always hated about like drunks. Like I had friends that
It is really annoying.
it's so annoying.
We had this conversation.
yeah.
I've had friends and cousins who were drunks, and we had some sort of mild issue, and we would talk about it, but they'd be so drunk they wouldn't remember, and then they would fucking bring it up to me in my face, and I go, "We talked about this already.
Yeah.
We squashed it. Stop fucking bringing it up because you don't remember.
Yeah.
We hugged." You said it's cool, man. I don't blame you. And then you come and blame me on a different day.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Like I was told that I'm a friendly drunk.
Yeah.
Like I'm friendlier drunk than I am sober.
Yeah.
And and they go,
Well, you can only go up from unfriendly as fuck.
but it's like, but it's a problem because like sometimes there are people who are like evil, terrible drunks.
Yeah.
Like where, when you're drunk, you tell your woman, you're a fucking ugly cunt, I hate you. And
Just
the next
sadistic.
day, you're just like, I don't remember, I was drunk.
Yeah.
Me, it's just like the next day I get told, like, oh, fuck, what did I do? Like, you said you loved me and you wanted to marry me. I'm like, oh, no. I need to fix my life.
What did I do?
Yeah.
You showed up one of the woke shows and you said you guys are doing the true comedy.
I got the opposite problem. I'm too nice when I'm drunk.
Lee, you might be. I don't know. I don't know. But it's possible you are unbanned from a show you're banned from.
Which one?
Did you know that the Monday show at Capone's is no longer at Capone's? It's at another bar.
No, he's
I'm
kinda
I'm still
with it,
banned.
You're still banned? You
That
didn't check in
Latino
on that?
woman hates me.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dude, that night at another bar where I completely bombed, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone bombed. Everyone I saw perform bombed.
Yeah, it sucked.
Does another bar have other shows?
They
They
did
used to.
karaoke.
Yeah, they used
did
to.
karaoke. So they got the setup. They got like
Yeah. No, but they
speakers.
used to do an open mic back in the day.
Fabian defended me.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
no,
but
no.
honestly, like you're okay. You don't want to help someone.
Tamisha,
out.
you mean?
Tamisha,
Yeah.
I was like, she doesn't want to put him on the mics. I'm like, dude, you got to put everyone on the fucking mics. If you don't have to put them on your shows. You don't have to like give them any special treatment or anything. But like, let everyone go up on the mics because you're against. He hasn't done anything wrong, and he hasn't done anything wrong here. You just don't like him. Policing comedy is like it's fucked up.
I think Lee should be let on that mic. I think that statement there's limits, and maybe it doesn't have to
No,
be
there's-
said.
if you
but
fuck
like
up.
if you fight somebody at the mic, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even do
you're
that.
banned. That's physical. Yeah, no, I'm defending you. I think your thing is allowed. You can come back. You were a prick that night, but it's forgivable. I think you should be allowed back.
I was a prick because I wouldn't just sit there quiet. I was just sitting there having a good time with Chris, just
But-
talking. And
Tell the truth though. Do you like it when you have a heckler?
I don't care. I don't care.
You don't like it.
No,
Nobody likes
I don't
it.
love it, but I don't care because I also look at it like, dude, what do you expect? Like you go at, like if you're trying to really be a comedian, because there's some people in this that aren't trying to be comedians, trying to be fucking actors or whatever. But if you're actually trying to figure out comedy, this is just part of it. And if some drunk random strangers in the audience talking over your shit, being loud, being disruptive, that's an opportunity for you as a comic to turn that into maybe something fun, like to call out the heckler, and now it's, you know what, I didn't expect this to be part of the show, but now it's part of the show, and you deal with it that way. If me as another comedian, I'm talking during a set, and you don't like it, you could come to me off stage and say, what's up with that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I would just I would tell you, what I just said. I'm like, hey, you got to get used to it. I'm not gonna apologize or stop. But like, be funnier, and then I'll listen to your set. Or like be my friend and then I'll listen to your set. Or no, but where I don't know you.
You don't do that either.
I just like being difficult.
Saker was good. What?
Yeah.
I've never heard it and I never will.
Yeah. But I go, to me, I'm like, I don't get that upset about the match.
No, okay, I get that. I don't agree. I think heckling is kind of like...
but it wasn't technically heckling. It was just sort of being disruptive.
You guys are pricks. Look.
You know what they were doing? They were laughing at bad jokes and shit. It was
yeah. Okay, those parts
sure
those parts were
pricks,
funny.
yeah, we were being
but
pricks.
no. But I think being a prick is not a reason to be banned in a show. And it's forgivable. It's like... Hey, you were kind of a prick last time. Look, come on. My rule in the room is just don't talk when other people are. You can go outside. You can giggle, talk, whatever. And then if you still do it, I understand banning after that. But no warning shot, I don't agree with.
But if I could
I don't
say
like
one
no
thing
warning,
about that woman that doesn't want to book me, I'm like, yeah, it's annoying at first, but then you go.
She has a weird butt.
But then I go, I don't know if I could be that mad at her because I'm like, what if what happened that night tainted some relationship she had with the club? And I'm like, even though I wasn't the one fighting people, like, but I was still kind of associated with that whole mess.
Because
I go, you know what? Maybe like she sees it that way.
They were new to comedy.
I don't want to be some fucking, unaware idiot.
No. Yeah, that's cool.
Like,
that's
okay, I get it. Maybe if she sticks around comedy as long as I've been in it, we'll eventually squash it. Eventually.
Yeah.
But for now, if she doesn't want me on her shit, even if the reason's good or bad. I don't need to be on your
that's very
show.
mature.
I don't need to be on your fucking show. But
That's mature.
I get it now that I think about it.
I did want to bring up how do you feel about all the Diddy stuff?
I love it.
You love
I
it?
fucking love it. Even though it's a big distraction because apparently Russia is like on the Red Sea, like setting themselves up to like
release Diddy.
No.
And they released Diddy. Like, don't look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit.
There's big believers in smoke screen.
Yep, and that's what they're
conspiracy
doing
theories.
right
now. I'm glad you said that. I'll let you talk. I'm glad you said that. I believe 100%. Now that you've said that, I forgot about that. I 100% believe that's what's going on.
Yeah, they just always knew about Diddy, and then they're like, whatever, release it.
Now's the time to release
And it all happens. It's happening too fast, and it's like Diddy's the obvious. I don't know. I just always have a problem when
he hasn't had a hit in like 10 years. So that's probably it too. They're like,
he's just been famous.
No, but
can get rid of him.
He's not a. I get what you're saying, but he's not technically a rapper. So even if he hasn't had a hit, you don't realize that he's connected to certain artists that are coming out, certain movies, certain
always gonna be
business
involved.
ventures.
But
he's a
was there,
business dude.
But he's like over that part. He's all like, now he's working on like his shoe deals and stuff. He's got He's got he used to have like a talent for it. He used to find like nice songs from the 70s, remix them, and then he produced that. But he's not producing anything anymore.
Yeah. But you said you love it.
I do because like, do you see what Candace Owens said?
No.
About the raid, like with Homeland Security and all that. They're just like, they're not there to retrieve evidence. They're there to delete it. Because,
I heard about that.
A lot of what's on there. Because imagine the parties that fucker had. And like
I had heard about the parties before any of these allegations.
Yeah.
People used to say, "Oh, those Diddy parties are wild. Those Diddy parties are crazy." They're positive. They're saying positive things, but the word was out. Every year, if you want to have fun at a party, Diddy throws the best parties.
Even LeBron James is on some webcam, like talking up there. He's like, "Ain't no party like a P. Diddy party." Like, oh shit, LeBron, what's in your fucking? What skeletons do you have?
Well, to be fair to LeBron and any other celebrities, I'm sure if Diddy throws 5 parties in the year, I'm sure some of them are tame in terms of rape. Like, I'm sure some of them.
Sometimes it's limited to 2 rapes a night.
Yeah. I'm sure some of them is just a lot of Ciroc and music.
Sure.
You know? But anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
But like, so yeah, they're saying that they're basically protecting people that have like sort of like been to those parties.
Yeah, who could be on tape, who could be on.
Because it's like some Epstein shit. Epstein was a black male, like person. Like he was a guy that like basically he would put powerful people. He would have footage of them in compromising situations so they could control them. and Diddy was like that. So if you really think about it, Diddy's just another Epstein.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
another
the. You know what's weird? Somebody said, "Oh, he's the Hollywood Epstein," but Epstein was the Hollywood Epstein. He had Hollywood people too.
Well, no, Epstein was more finance and politics.
No, but he did have Hollywood
But
people.
he had Hollywood people, but Diddy's more ingrained.
Yeah, of course.
but
Ingrained
are they
with
like, because Epstein got politicians. Diddy will get like actors and shit like that.
Yeah.
And rappers and musicians, all that shit.
But like any kids, nothing like.
I heard not okay, and I'm not saying it's not pedophilia, but I never heard kids, teens, stuff like that, like underage girls.
How old? Wait, I need to know if he's still cool or not.
Like 19, like whatever.
Yeah, what?
Even though, like, if I messed around with a 19,
We should have used
Just saying, if I brought around a 19-year-old girl, wouldn't you look at me kind of like still like a piece of shit? You know what I mean? Because you know I'm manipulating this girl. There's no reason she should be with me. I'm too old and I'm
But
too
there's
foul.
no reason any woman should be with you.
That's on golf.
No, yeah, I would. Yeah. And it's not. It has nothing to do with you and your character. It's just there's a limit. Like, look,
Like,
if you went to me,
what can I have in common with a 19-year-old girl?
like,
Nothing.
Here's what I would say: if you went to me and you're like, I was out at the show. This girl came to the show. She was into it. She liked me. I fucked her. Man, I fucked up. You know, I found out she was 19. I'm like, hey, that's great. Good for you.
Okay,
you know,
something like that is.
Yeah.
You know,
But
now
if
that
you
paint
were
it that way, it's different.
dating
Then I can do it.
a
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Fabian's
that way.
like,
I'll be a pedophile that way. She's gonna make the
Mentally,
moves on
I'll
me.
fuck almost anything.
sorry. No, Fabian's like, not only would I do it, I have done it. No, yeah, but if you're like dating a 19-year-old, I would be like, what are you?
Questionable,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, it's questionable for sure. For sure.
I would for sure date a no compulsion to style. Like nothing.
Look, I'm not saying it's impossible because they are technically adults and stuff like that, but it's just
It'd be great to ghost one. Like, you fuck a 19-year-old because of, like, the circumstances you laid out. Like, oh, she's, like, into it. She thought you were funny, whatever. And then you find out she's 19 and just ghost her. And she's like, but I'm a beautiful 19-year-old.
yeah.
It's time to accuse him of rape. I don't think you could just ghost women like that.
No.
I'll accuse you.
But like people don't have their morals. But the whole 19 thing, they don't care. There's 100%. There's female comedians that you could see. I know they were young, and you saw the same. Some of the comics, especially some of the older comics, they saw no difference in putting their arm around them and giving them advice to when it was a 26-year-old female comedian.
Yeah.
Like some people just they don't care about that. If you're legal age, then you're good to go.
Sure.
Dude, Puff Daddy blew up Kid Cudi's car?
What?
Yeah, I just read that.
So mixed into it, there's also some crime stuff. Like, well, I
Yeah.
guess rape is crime.
There's some murder,
that kind of stuff.
there's all
But
William
that
Jr.'s
stuff.
in there, and so is Prince Henry.
Look, the murder.
Prince Harry, yeah, Prince.
Henry, Henry. What an idiot.
That stuff, the murder stuff. I would say I'm like, come on, we all knew. Like, and what you're gonna chastise them? I'm sure Jay has one or two murders that he fucking pointed and somebody ended up dying. I'm sure. I know for a fact Suge Knight. So the murder thing, it's like, look, these guys were a fucking problem for a few years there, and shit happened. And like, because one of the things they're like, oh, there was a shooting in a club, and it was always suspected that he was the shooter, but another rapper went to jail for it. But people always said like, well, we think it was Diddy, and that was when he was dating J-Lo. It was a whole thing. It's like, but who cares? All their entourage are all people who probably have shot people. They like, I'm not saying who cares. The victims, I'm sorry, but those aren't surprises.
They deserve it. I think they do. I mean, if you're around that circle,
I'm
and
actually
you get shot. It's like, yeah, what did you expect?
I actually don't care that he tried to blow up Kid Cudi's car. He turned on Ye.
Yeah,
He just,
yeah, it's true.
Kid Cudi's mentally ill though, and
I don't
so
know
is
much,
Kanye.
I don't know much about Kid Cudi, but Puff
he-
Daddy is so mentally ill. He's like just a
Well, he has
sicko.
something. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the suspicions of him being gay is old.
Staggering.
It's
Dude, that's
it's
so
Staggering amount
yes,
of like,
but it's
like
also
50
old.
Cent calling out, dude. 50 Cent is so much fun to follow.
I know
because of how he just trolls other rappers.
He's
And I love that his wife or whatever came out as like in the P.Fiddy shit as like a sex worker, and then he divorced her, and then she comes out and accuses 50 Cent of rape, and 50 just laughed at that, and nobody believes her.
so
Laugh in the face of rape.
I'll say this: 50 Cent is a consummate piece of shit.
I love that, man.
But it doesn't mean I don't find it entertaining and him funny.
That guy's hilarious.
I think he'll try to sell us on my son is a piece of shit and I don't care. Mm-hmm. Your son may be a piece of shit, but you're the piece of shit that got your son to be a piece of shit.
You're the piece of shit that like
neglected your son,
raised that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like he might be a turd, but you're like fuck it.
You're the one who sat over the bowl and made that turd.
Exactly. No, I like I said, I love everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But I do think it is a big distraction.
I just think it felt too like it all kind of it's all coming out so fast. It's all convenient. It's all like
Apparently the world's supposed to end soon in April because that fucking eclipse.
I get it. Your uncles are telling you that, right?
My Aztec.
Yeah.
Aztec ancestry is tapping in. It's mighty strong right now.
Those forefathers.
Well, what they're saying is, and what's interesting is the timing of it with all this. People are pedophiles. All these powerful people, the P. Diddy shit, is that things are going to come out. I think AI must have been almost kind of like this. Well, if we get called out for being creepy perverts, we can blame AI. But now it's just like, I don't even think that's going to work. So now they're going to wipe out the internet and blame it on solar flares that this eclipse is supposed to. The way they're trying to like put it is like this eclipse is going to make these solar flares even stronger, and they're going to fuck with our electrical equipment, and especially the internet. So as all this is coming out, this is their way to divert that, get into their underground bunkers, and start World War III. And then we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
Have you ever thought of going full on survivalist?
Yeah, but I'm
Doomsday
too lazy.
prepper. You're too lazy.
Yeah.
To acquire like a generator and like food. Like I'm like, that takes effort.
You hear about that guy that he's one of the first that got Neuralink, and he just spends all his days now playing video games. He just plugs right into the computer and it just doms.
That's just what they want, though. They want most men to do that shit. They want most guys to just be plugged into this shit so that we're not a threat.
I do like that. I do like testing shit out on people with disabilities. This is probably my favorite.
Coming for you, Regia.
Dude, we've only ever like stepped real forward in in science and medication and shit like that, like during a war when like no one really cares about all those people. And
And then we could use them as lab rats.
Cut them up and merge them together. They cut them up and like merge them and like how do you feel when you're this cold?
I find it so funny that the military actually did experiments on people with LSD. When you hear about that shit, it's just like just to get them stoned. Like, what was the military scientific purpose of these? What was the reasoning?
Yeah. Wasn't it the
was
truth
it just
serum?
mind control?
No, I thought it was the truth sim they were looking for.
Oh, dude,
That's what I heard.
That might be MDMA. I think I heard that with MDMA.
Oh,
When you're fucked up on MDMA acid or anything, dude, you become so on it. I don't know how to lie when I'm on.
How to lie?
I don't know how to lie when I'm on that shit.
Some girls asking, "Do you have herpes?" And you're like, "I know I don't want to say the truth, but I don't remember what."
Like, baby, we all got herpes.
Technically, everyone has herpes.
Trust me, you have herpes.
I never had a flare up, but I'm sure it's there. It's you can't lie on that shit, like because you feel so like spiritual and earthy and at one with the whole like experience of life. Like, how do you lie in a situation like that? You got to be a real piece. You got to be worse than Diddy. If you could lie in that state of mind, you suck. Yeah.
I had a weird drunk thought the other night. I was drinking for the first time in a while, and before I went to bed, I just had this thought where I go, you know what? If AI really takes over the world, and we become like the fucking like the Matrix or iRobot or one of them shits where like or Terminator where the robots are like taking over.
Yeah.
This was my thought. I go, at least if that happens, I'll be able to prove that the soul exists and God is real. And this was my thought process is they're always telling us, the like atheists or whatever, that God doesn't exist and your soul is nothing. We're just like, molecules and synapses in your brain and all this kind of shit. And everything you do is like thing. And I was always like, well, what about like art? Why do we do art if there's no point to it? If you're saying we're just those things, we would just be in survival mode all the time. And then when we can see the difference between how robots act and how humans act, like them taking us over and like controlling us with no sympathy. They don't do no art, none of that bullshit. They don't make music. That's all bullshit because they're just in like we need to do whatever it is to control the world and survive mode. Then you'll be like, well, obviously the soul exists because if it didn't, robots would have created art.
Yeah, if you also think about it too, if that's the case, then think about how AI.
It's not art.
But think about how AI or this level of technology that is able to think for itself.
Yeah.
Where it's God. Like we're the ones who built it, created it, put it together, and turned it on. Like if you think about human beings, it's like this whole. We are like a meaty computer, and the soul is like like the battery or like the thing that keeps the shit moving and running and thinking.
Yeah, I don't know any parts of a computer either.
Art is just like it's such a. This is how you know people are like so. I don't know. It's kind of like art's kind of gay to be honest, like because it's like it's an expression.
Of course it is.
Of what's inside you.
Yeah.
You ever see somebody doing art, like painting, let's say, and just the way they're fluttering around? You look at that, you're like, I guess it's nice, but like look at the way you're doing it. I don't think AI could call itself gay. Like one AI program can't call the other one gay. We can do that.
That's what I'm saying. And you said there's AI art, right? Yeah. But that AI art is for our entertainment. And it's just creating things by mixing words. But what I'm saying is, say there's a robot society and us humans are being controlled. Are they putting up pictures on the wall or is there nothing? Like, meaning, is there an art gallery? Is there a thing where robots go and they look at each other and go...
Do you think AI has a soul?
What I'm saying is they don't. And when they win and control us all, at least I'll die knowing I was right.
Yeah.
And you're all going...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's all. That was my drunk thought. Now I'm out of it more, but I'm just trying to explain what I thought when I was drunk is, hey, worst case scenario, if we're all taken over by robots, at least I'll be able to go, I was right.
Yeah. No, I have that all the time. Like, and it's always like towards my demise. Like when I go like, oh, once this goes down, once this takes place, I knew I was right.
Yes.
And nobody would listen. Everybody just called me a faggot. And it's not that they were wrong, but I was definitely right. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this has nothing to do with like the soul conversation, but I remember like being patient. Like, I'll get him back. Like, I had a guy that like stole. He like stole like $3,000 worth of tools from me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought about it. Like, what should I get revenge or whatever? And then I was like, whatever, fuck it, karma will get him. And then one day he's like working on a cherry lift, and it basically catapults him off after like a pneumatic fails.
Oh, like
it flung him off because he was tied off to it. Like you have to tie off to these things, so he's like connected by like a 6-foot strap. So it fell faster than he did. So he was actually like catapulted. It was just like, yeah. I was like, oh shit, God, take it easy.
I just want him to trip on his laces or something.
My God, he's never gonna walk again.
Even when it comes to like some of this,
he deserved it.
When it comes to some of this, like, comedy should be this and comedy should be that, or music, or cancel this person, cancel that. Sometimes I go, you know what? Let's go all in with what these people want. Because then it'll become something that even they don't want, and at least I get to go, see, I was right.
See what you did, you fucked up.
See what you did.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know?
Like, are you happy now? Well, yeah.
Like, even when I don't have no problem with women or anything. I really don't, right? I'm not that guy who's like, oh, women are dumb. And I'm not watching any of those red pill stuff or whatever. But when people are like, the world would be 100% better if women ran the world alone, sometimes I go, you know what? Maybe us men should just sit back. We'll have to fuck our generation, right? And we just sit back and we just do whatever they say
Yeah, dude, for real.
just to prove that war still happens. Not conspiracy. What's the word I'm looking for? Corruption. All of that still happens. Just so we're all 80 one day and we go, see, we were right.
I'm gonna go to my grave going, women are retarded. Like, I just,
Yeah, dude, like there's so many like powerful women that are just gonna take a day at the wrong time.
yeah. Like, do you know how great it is to meet an impressive woman? Like, I'm not like, I'm not like.
I don't know. I'll find out one day.
There you go.
No, I'm
like,
just joking. No,
I go like, listen, I'm just so waiting for like, because I've met a few like where I'm like,
No,
wow,
they are.
like you're
impressive. You're
wow, you're fucking,
dynamic.
You're
Yeah.
great. But so many like, I heard something where they go like, somebody talked about it online. They go like, what's up with women like trying to sexualize everything?
Yeah.
On the fucking internet, where it's just like a lot of these dumb women, they just use their sex appeal, which isn't that impressive. Like in terms of like, wow, like that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like any ugly bitch could get some fucking could turn on some fucking idiot. Like it's not that difficult for them, but they use what's natural and easy for them, and they exploit it. And then they expect us to just always be drooling fucking morons for them. And then when you call them out for being like just some hoe, somehow you become the villain. You become like this person that's like, oh, what, do you hate women? Do you want to keep them all down?
You get canceled and banned from the lab.
Then you get canceled and banned from the lab by simply treating a woman like a human being. Like, by just treating them as exactly how they're acting. You can't call like a dirtbag woman a piece of shit without somebody going like, hey, you're the problem. It's like, what?
That's my main point. Is it's not that I think women are dumber. Like, you can say whatever you want after, but it's not that I think they're dumber, worse, anything. It's just I hate this idea that if they ran the world, everything would be better. I'm like, no, they're just humans. We're all humans. We're all corruptible.
The world be
You
finished.
can't listen to Ali Sheedy Oscar speeches, dude. I don't know what you're up to. Like, it's fucking wild. Like,
No, I'm just saying.
No one
like,
genuinely believes
they're
that.
just human. They're just human. Everybody's corruptible. Everybody can do good. All that kind of shit.
But women are biologically like built
This is
to be emotional, and they can't make decisions.
This is the part where I say I'm gonna say my thing. You can say whatever you want after.
Well, I've been thinking
enough.
about it. I've been thinking about using my sex appeal to like come back into the industry. Like take a little break.
He does have sex appeal. That's the funniest clip ever.
I'm thinking about using
My sex appeal.
Yeah, like I'm gonna quit comedy for like 2 months and then do like post my fitness journey.
Yeah.
Because like getting back in
He's
shape.
he's not wrong though. I think even as a man,
And
I
then
think
come
that
back
could
to, like-
that could boost him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got to do something.
I've never seen someone circle a drain faster.
If this fucker like starts doing sexy shit like that,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to post all of his progress on our page, like on the Goblin Ogre page.
Yeah.
We have to show.
Well, list
Some
him as
mini sexy Fabian
just a
at the
mini
bottom of
sexy
the corner.
Fabian. Yeah, exactly. We have to have a whole Fabian
he'll be
sexy
the
post to
official.
bring him back. Yeah.
He'll be the official Goblin Ogre whore.
Sure.
I want to
Yeah.
be like your loading screen.
I'm down. I'm fucking down. Yeah, I mean, it's. I just don't respect women's approach. I don't respect
Wait a
women's
second.
approach. Wait, I don't respect women's approach like using their sexuality to like get ahead. But I do respect and support Fabian's approach of
using
being sexy,
being
like,
sexy.
to
Sexy
boost
Fabian.
himself. I do yeah.
I love
I'm
when
for
girls
that.
use their sexiness to get ahead. It's like they're self-aware. If they're either
Yeah, I don't
not
mind.
hot, they try to like say the sexy jokes that like hot chicks should be saying, and then hot chicks are like avoiding them because they don't want to be like cocky or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like things should be what they are.
Yeah, no, I agree too.
How many spare tired like funny haired ladies have like talked about how much sex or how hot they are like on stage?
And you just sit there kind of like, is
Just
this a
like-
joke?
just like, ew.
Yeah, ew.
Ew.
Like, is it because you're so obviously gross
You remind
that
me
I have
of
to
wet
laugh?
popcorn.
That is some of them mean that. Some of them do
like
that.
a Steph Tolev. Yes, Steph
Yeah,
Tolev,
yeah.
who's like killing it.
Killing it, yeah.
Is one of those I'm a gross woman
Yeah.
type of thing, and it works for her. But then you got
Who's that gross Jewish chick? She's a little.
Isn't Steph Tolev Jewish?
It might be her.
I think so.
Tolev sounds
Jewy
to me.
I think it's her. Yeah. Bill Burr discovered her. Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know her.
Well, she hit up L.A. first, and I think that's when he found her. I don't know.
I like Steph Tolev.
She was cool. She was cool.
Shout out to Steph Tolev,
Yeah.
man.
I never
she's
really got
hilarious.
to know her deeply, but like, she was cool. She always seemed nice. She was funny.
I remember like when I started, like I kind of made a joke to her once, like at the comedy bar, like I was going into the bathroom,
Yeah.
and she was coming out of it, and I don't know what I said. I said something about like, yeah, Steph, you got it going on, and then she goes, ugh, I can't walk. Like, fuck off. And I always thought that was great. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I get why you're a dick because nicely is a fucking cornball.
Well, no. But I didn't mean it.
Ooh, Steph, you got it going now.
Yeah, with the finger point.
Oh, you were being not sarcastic, but like cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's another chick that's grosser. It's but she is fun.
No.
She's doing well in
Give her a
comedy.
nice thing.
Who is it?
No, not Steph Tolev. I don't know her name. It's an ugly Jewish girl.
Canadian?
Yeah. Yeah, like our area, our scene. Like
Oh,
like,
okay, she
she's
hasn't left to the
she's
US
probably
yet.
like a cut above. Like she's like a step above. I mean, not a cut above. Sorry, that's
An
different.
ugly Jewish girl.
It's not gonna.
Is
narrow it
there
down
such
to-
a thing?
I like Jewish.
I know you do.
I don't like their ankles.
I don't like their ankles.
I don't like their
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 Jewy ankles.
Jewy Crayola ankles. Man.
Are they waxy or thin?
Both. No, they're thick. They have
They're
thick
th-
ankles.
oh, thick.
It's like a kanko. It's like the whole bottom of this is like it's a tube with no definition.
Even with a thinner girl, she's
Yes.
got a bit of a
yeah.
canko
She's
going on.
always gonna have like
That's
a solid
interesting.
tube.
You
for,
dated.
for-
So when you're fucking them, like up there and holding the ankle, it feels like a pull, like a bedpost. Yeah,
and it's even the whole way down to the
saying-
knees.
yeah, it's the same thing all the way down. Yes, I've dated a Jewish girl.
Yeah, but you never noticed the ankle thing?
I think I know what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I think yeah,
thing.
he's right.
Thick
Yeah, it's real
ankle.
similar to like dinosaur feet. You know.
Well, they are the original people.
Right.
Yeah.
So they got prehistoric toes.
Some dinosaur toes.
Well, the Jewish girl that I was dating did have some gnarly feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they were nice. Yeah.
But you're talking toes. What's
The foot, the
foot?
toe.
Yeah.
She used to give me shit because I have a nice arch in my foot, and she was a dancer, and she would be like, "How the fuck is it that you get like these natural nice feet, and I look like this?" Another thing about Jewish girls is they're funny. Jewish chicks are hilarious.
Yeah, well, it's like like your people come from like mountains and jungles, and she like grew up in sand. Like where do Jews come from?
I thought Jews got away from the sand after so many years.
No, they stayed in there for a bit. And
They did?
try to go back.
Still laughing at your people come from mountains and jungles. He's right. He's right. But it's
No.
still funny to hear.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. You're a Machu Picchu like dweller. You know how to make water go uphill.
Yeah, I know
Teach us.
I know how to lead llamas.
And I forgot when it was, but they kept like discovering alien skulls in Peru, but it was just people that did this practice of skull binding. So when they were kids, they would just wrap their heads in like rope.
Yeah.
Their
Oh.
skulls
Wasn't even a fucking alien. It was just like self-mutilation.
Skulls were just like, no, not self-mutilation. You're mutilating your kids.
The more I hear about it, the more I find out how long humans have been alive, all this ancient cities, stuff like that. I won't lie, and people might think of me as dumb now. I'm starting to believe that aliens have come to Earth, and we've had other civilizations of us, and we got destroyed and have come back, and like, because it just doesn't feel like in the amount of years we've been alive, humans like Homo sapien, that we've only gotten this far, and all of our advancement has been in the last fucking 2,000 years.
Sure.
Like it was all bullshit before that, and all of a sudden we just fucking
It's all bullshit now. You ever hear about like people that rewrite history? That like the shit that was like apparently Hitler was a great guy. Like, do you see that video
it's not
of
right.
Hitler AI? Like they basically show what he was saying, but in English,
Yeah.
and how he was like saying Germany's great, but we're letting all these fucking Jews do this shit to us.
Yeah, that's not a good guy.
No, but he wasn't wrong. Imagine, like, fuck the Jews.
He was wrong.
Fuck the Jews. Fuck the Palestinians. Fuck everybody who's like.
come on,
if you're like terrible, if somebody's calling you out for being terrible, I go like, just because you're fucking Jewish, it means what? You can't get called out for being bad? What if Jewish people did some awful shit?
He did more than call them out.
No,
he
in his
led
speeches,
them.
In his speeches, it started with speeches, and then everybody went, "Yeah,
okay,
he's right."
No.
And then it got violent.
Hollywood and most of comedy that matters. I'm pro-Israel. Just letting you know, right?
Look,
but all the shit he's saying, like,
look, I don't like Arabs. I don't. I don't care.
Wait. I want to fix the situation. I know what you guys are thinking. I want to correct it. I don't like Arabs either.
I don't like any of them.
I know you're thinking.
They're all gross. I think they're all fucking sickening, and they all like have their own little obvious agenda, and I don't like any of it.
You're a fucking little Incan racist.
I don't hate the Arabs, but I do have an open challenge to however many of them want to box me at once. I'll fight them.
That's funny. I had a girl that I was seeing once who like would hear my racist shit or whatever, my awfulness.
Don't put the quotes. It's
no,
racist.
No, like, you know what I mean. But then once I kind of dumped her.
Yeah.
That's like one of her final things she said to me is like, yada, 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 you're fucking this, that, you fucking racist. I'm like, oh, so now it's bad. Now that I'm leaving you, it's bad. But before it was totally cool.
You are a racist.
Yeah, so what? I don't care.
You do get radicalized, though. Like, getting banned from the lab, I'm anti-trans right now.
There you go.
I hate it. Get that shit
Yeah,
off.
like,
I thought you were trans.
Fabian did try to show me his asshole last night.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw a little bit of a clit.
Fabian.
And I shaved like a V.
Yeah, like a nice little landing
I have a
strip.
landing strip.
He used to be Fabiana.
Fabiana. Oh, that's kind of a hot name.
That is a hot name.
I have a tattoo over my butt that says hungry.
Juicy.
Yeah, we're actually almost done anyway, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting to the survivalist thing. This is kind of a callback to our other thing, but I do I don't know. I do think it's very possible within our lifetime something happens. I'm not saying I know,
It's gonna happen.
but I think something could happen, and I just want a bucket with fucking dried goods and an axe. Honestly, I was thinking, I'm like, maybe I'll call Fabian and ask to buy one of his fucking 20 million axes he bought.
No, dude. For sure something's going to happen, but we got to walk into a school with some guns and make something happen.
Holy shit. Thank you for listening to the Goblin and Ogre podcast.